Now, you said something that I find fascinating, which is that you looked at other philanthropists
Right.
and who had a history of giving. But your particular experience, which was having been part of a startup,
Right.
a very successful one, Priceline, you brought a whole new set of skills and talents that really wasn't part of the conversation, I would guess, among the people you were looking at, or was it?
No, absolutely right. We were fortunate, very fortunate, to be part of this first wave of wealth creation around the turn of the century. And when we went and studied other families, there were families like the Rockefeller family, in which we spent a lot of time meeting family members of the Rockefellers and actually having advisors who had worked with the Rockefeller family. So we learned a lot from great families, and also learned a lot from families that perhaps were not as successful in their philanthropy and also in their families. And I think your first question is very important, because with families and family philanthropy, there needs to be a connection between the two. And we've come across many people where that isn't the case, where they're excellent in philanthropy but not necessarily paying attention to their family.
And you have two children.
Two children.
What
yes.
are their ages?
Our son Drew is 22, and our daughter Carly is 20.
Just a couple other sort of demographic questions.
Sure.
Where did you go to school as a child?
I grew up on Long Island and went to elementary school and high school in Valley Stream, New York.
And what kind of schools were they?
They were basic Long Island public schools.
Public schools.
Yeah.
And Betsy?
Betsy grew up in Ithaca, New York, and graduated from Ithaca High School.
Uh-huh. And did you ever go to religious schools?
Yeah, I did. There was a White Castle near where our temple was, and so we probably visited the White Castle as much as we visited the temple. And I think Betsy had a similar experience in her religion.
Well, because one of the fascinating things that we observe is any contact with early religious institutions seems to affect people's giving. Do you think that that's a connection, or is it not in your case?
No, I don't think so. I think for both of us, and we really are a team, and you'll hear me mostly talk about we and us, and if I talk about I, it's probably a mistake. But both of us did not have a lot of religious training, but we grew up with families that were strong families, and I think with a sense of that there was a bigger world out there that we needed to participate in and to give back. And so it was very natural for us, when we realized that we had an opportunity to do wonderful things in the world, to figure out how we would make that happen.